Well, everybody, welcome. My name is Darren Shapiro. I'm Director of New Business Development for a company called Sinclair Broadcast Group. You know, if you take a look around the room, we have a nice intimate crowd here. I don't really like to talk to more than 15, maybe 20 people at a time. I think it becomes very impersonal. So throughout the presentation, I will make it a point to, and I apologize if I point at you, but to point at you and maybe ask you a question about your business, maybe about your marketing. And I want everybody else to actually learn a little bit about some of the businesses that are in the room as well. On this page, you notice it says Integrated Marketing Solutions. And those of you who actually own a business or run a business or do the marketing for a business, that's a really new, updated term. I'm in the TV business 30 years. I'm a TV guy. I've been with Sinclair Broadcast Group 24 of those years. So over the years, there's always been these new catchphrases. And right now, the newest catchphrase is called integrated marketing. And the reason, and it's a very important part, and again, if you're going to take notes and you want some free marketing advice, anything you're doing with your marketing has to be integrated. And what that means is no matter what you're doing, there's usually a piece missing. Whether you're looking at social media as an asset, whether you're looking at taking advantage of what social media offers or maybe an online angle, you can't do it with just online and social media. You need integrated marketing solutions. Now, Sinclair Broadcast Group is the company I work for. A little bit of information about them. We're the largest group owner of TV stations in the United States. When I started with them, that's not owned by a network. When I started with them, we owned 3 UHF TV stations. Is everybody old enough to remember UHF TV when you had the antennas? Okay, anyone under the age of 40, please leave. Thank you. I mean it. No. It's my best stuff, so you know, you got to deal with it. But when I was growing up in this industry, in this company, we owned 3 TV stations that ran nothing but cartoons and bad Abbott and Costello movies. You remember those things? Okay. But over the years, we've not only purchased TV stations, we just keep on buying and buying and buying. In fact, we own or operate 149 TV stations. We're a multi-billion-dollar company. You know, like Dr. Evil, right? Billion with a B. We're huge. In this market, we happen to own the CW. We're affiliated with all major networks. But across the United States, we have NBC, CBS, Fox. For those of you who don't know about what goes on in this industry is, we buy TV stations, the signal from the FCC. And what we do is we promote our brands. Here we're the CW. Other markets, we own Fox branded TV stations. It's the last time you're going to hear about the brand. There's no such thing as a better TV station. There's only one thing that works on TV: reaching customers, reaching potential customers. So across the United States, we own these stations, and in 2009, take you back a few years, the whole economy dropped off the face of the earth. Remember that? Happened in Minneapolis, happened everywhere. So we didn't take a look at that and crawl into a corner. We took a look at that and said, what actually happened? And you know what happened? It was a consumer-driven recession. Consumers stopped buying houses. They stopped moving from house to house. They stopped buying cars. They stopped going out to eat as often. And unfortunately, whether or not you're a business that was impacted by that, my company, because General Motors went bankrupt, lost $100 million that year. So we had to come up with a plan. And because I'm the Director of New Business Development, it kind of fell on my desk. And after 30 years in the business, I found out one thing. The growth that we have is going to come from you, local businesses. Oh, we get the Taco Bells and the McDonald's. They still spend money on TV. But our growth is coming from local businesses. So I reach out to local businesses not to just talk about partnering, but actually offer you a compelling alternative to what you're doing, even if you're doing something along the lines of TV or electronic media, something compelling that will allow you to not only use local TV, but I'm promising you, you can't just do TV. TV is not a magic wand. What you need is TV tied to a great idea. Now, at the end of this presentation, my last 5 minutes, if you stay that long to the last 5 minutes, I do have a great idea that I want to show you. It's one of many that we have, but it's one that's been working across the country for small businesses who have never been on TV. And I will introduce that to you later on. Integrated marketing solutions only work one way. If you have your marketing truly mirror current consumer behavior. Who in here has a website? Raise your hands. You don't have a website because it's magical. You have a website because practically during the consumer's way that they find you, they'll kind of go to the web, right? Wasn't that supposed to transform the entire world? I don't think it did that much, but it did prove something. Local businesses went to the web because it mirrored how consumers act. Who has social media? Facebook. Who? All of you. Of course you do. Because it mirrors consumer behavior. If your marketing mirrors consumer behavior for your category of business, it's going to be more effective. So right now, I'm just going to go quickly. I might just point to 2 or 3 of you just to get an idea. But if I point at you, please tell me the name of your business. And I want to know what your main source of marketing is. And let me explain that what that is. Word of mouth is not marketing. Word of mouth is a byproduct of someone who tried your business. Right? I ate the pizza, I liked it, I tell my friends. That's not marketing. That's a byproduct of somebody who is familiar with your business, who knows your business. So you can't say word of mouth. And if anybody does, I'm going to get real mad. Because people always say that. They're like, I would say word of mouth. So don't say that. So what's your business and what's your main source of marketing?
Regan Investments, we're an investment management firm. I'd say event sponsorship and
That's good. Event sponsorship, that's great. I love it. So you're out there in the field. People are coming to events that so they're kind of targeted events, okay? I'm going to go to you because I know I heard you say something. It's a unique business, so I might as well hear it.
We're opening up a brewery in St. Paul that's a gluten-free.
Gluten-free, okay.
Right now, the only marketing that we've actually dove into is more just social media.
Social media, very good, very good. And then I'll pick, well, I'm not going to pick Todd because he's eating. I'm going to go to Nick. It's okay.
My business is Twin Seasonal Rentals, property management, and Google is my main source.
Google, so you're online. So if you, again, if you were invited, hopefully, particularly if you haven't used TVs, there are some TV users in this room, I see you. But what I want to do is I want you to notice that everybody's kind of in that same boat. You're looking at marketing, you're trying different marketing, you're looking at how marketing might impact your business in the short term and the long term. So if I'm going to talk about consumers, I want to talk about real world consumers. There's only 3 types of consumers that you can market to. Now you're going to pay attention to this because it's important. 3 types, you ready? There's a consumer with immediate need. My roof is leaking. I just had a car accident. We need to know at that moment, who would I call, right? So here's the key. Who in here is trying to market to people with an immediate need? And I don't want to hear that people who want to drink beer have an immediate need. I don't want to hear that. Well, they do, Darren. Well, they want to drink beer now. I'm like, okay, that's stretching what I'm actually asking. Who wants to reach somebody with an immediate need? Hands up, okay. The next one is actually the consumer with a long-term need. If I own a house and I'm in it for 20 years, sad to say, I'm going to need a roofer, okay? So again, the people who raise their hand for immediate need, of course, you're looking for people that eventually might need what you have. But the last one is a kind of a unique one. It's a consumers with a perceived need. That's like people who, you need to whiten your teeth. You need to redo the kitchen. You know, my wife about 5 years ago says, hey, Darren, I want to redo the kitchen. And I say to her, but there's nothing wrong. I mean, the shelves aren't falling off the wall. She's like, I want to redo the kitchen. What kind, and you know how much that costs if you've ever redone a kitchen. But when my wife said that to me, what kind of ads did I start noticing on TV or anywhere? Come on. No, a divorce lawyer. No, I did start noticing that. But they didn't start running because I needed that. Do you follow that? Those of you who might actually say you know about that, you're actually seeing the benefits of what kind of marketing I'm talking about. There's 2 types of marketing. There's marketing constantly and marketing consistently. Marketing constantly means you have to be in front of as many people as many times as you can afford over the course of a year. You can't just go on TV when you hope someone needs a lawyer, or when you hope someone needs a financial advisor, or you hope someone needs a rental unit. But consistent is something different. Again, learning alert, consistent marketing means what is your message? What is it that you're really trying to get out there? You know, the plumber who also does HVAC wants to make sure people want to call him for HVAC because that's a higher profit margin. You might do financial advice, but is it financial advice for somebody who just got their first job? Is it financial advice for someone's looking for retirement? Again, you know, but that consistent message is what really drives your success. Again, we think in TV that a creative approach typically drives more people to your brand. And branding is a very important part of marketing. In fact, if you really take a look at it, I think all you in here, if somebody needs what you have, are you available? Are you available if someone wants to call you? Are you available if someone wants to look you up on the web? Are you available? Good, because I can't help you with that. But are they there when you're marketing? And I'm telling you suspiciously, having a website is not marketing. Having a website is a destination point. Having a website is a great place for someone to learn more about your business. But in the world of Google, in the world of SEO and SEM, you know what that is, right? Search engine optimization, search engine monetization. It's all made up words by Google. In fact, Google's a made up word. Can you imagine? 10 years ago, I would have said, hey, do you want to Google me? You'd be like, what? I'm like, yeah, Google my Yahoo. You want to Yahoo me later? Do you want to Bing me? Who wants to Bing me? I'll Bing you, you'll Bing me. Actually, nobody's Binging anyone, all right? So when it's all said and done, I'm actually convinced, just from how my lifespan has been, I know about integrated marketing because I am attacked by ads all the time. On the way over here this morning, on the way to work every day, you're attacked by many ads. That's the way it goes. The brands, even the car you're driving, even the gas you're using, even the shoes you're putting on. These are all brand awareness. But I'm going to take you back in the time machine. I'll take you back to when I was a little kid in the 60s. I grew up in New York City, in the city. I was a city boy. I grew up in Queens, New York, if you know the area. And my parents, well, they were middle class workers. My dad was a plumber, my mother was a secretary. So, you know what? We didn't really have a lot of money, but I remember one thing. In my house, we had a big black and white TV set, and I was my dad's remote. Do you remember that? Does everybody else grow up rich or something? You see, if I got a couple of dollars, my parents had a couple of dollars, we bought a thing called a clicker. It actually clicked. Does anybody remember the clicker? Again, anyone under the age of 50 needs to leave the room. What is he talking about? Well, in those days, there were no flat screen TVs, there was no internet. There was a big black and white TV set. And that TV set became mine at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, cartoons. But I don't remember the cartoons. I do remember something, though, and anybody who has children knows this. Every time a commercial came on during the cartoons, I wanted whatever they were selling. I wanted Count Chocula cereal. I wanted Schwinn bicycle. I wanted everything they were putting on there. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm 53 years old. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. I still want the best. I still am impacted by the best that I see. Whether it's a Porsche, whether it's a nicer house, whether it's a new pool. I want the best for my kids, my dogs, my cars, right? That's how we are. But I'm impacted by marketing. Now, in those days, TV was kind of new. TV wasn't around a long time in the 60s. And there was this great marketer, and his name was Ron Popeil. It was awesome. This was this guy who'd come on TV and said, I'm Ron Popeil, and we have the new product called the Popeil Pocket Fisherman. It was actually a fishing pole that could fold. You could put it on your belt, had a secret compartment for lures. It was $9.95, and you could buy it at a place called Woolworths. Does everybody remember Woolworths? It's called Target now. So what actually ended up happening in those days was the product that he was pitching me was a fishing pole. Now, I wanted it. But remember where I told you I grew up? New York City. There are no fishing ponds in New York City, and if anybody's ever gone fishing, if you have a fishing pole that folds, it's not really a good fishing pole. But I wanted it. But that's not the part of the story that's intriguing. See, to me, I want everything I see on TV, but how does he get me to buy it? Well, he tells me about it, tells me where to get it, but he's creating almost, it's a perceived need, but he's telling me where I could get the product. Now remember, you got to look at your business and figure out how many times are you in front of a consumer, making sure they know that you have a product for sale or service to offer them. How often? How many people? Well, anyway, I go to Woolworths with my parents, and when you walked into the store, he was very smart. He bought what's called end-of-the-aisle display. And all he was doing was using integrated marketing in those days, making sure that his name, his product, was in everyone's face. But that wasn't enough. He put a sign that said $9.95. But that wasn't enough. In fact, for my parents to understand what the product was, he put this sign next to his product. I know you've seen this sign. You don't see this sign. Never see a sign that says as seen on the internet, as seen in the yellow pages. You see as seen on TV. Now, regardless of whether you believe it or not, television is the only medium, the only one that brands your business. Now remember, you all have names to your business. In fact, everyone in here, if I say, what's your business, you'll tell me the name of your business. A name is not a brand. In fact, what brands do is it gives you instant credibility. Who in here knows about the Sham Wow or the Snuggie? Okay, I've got the leopard one. Chicks dig it. So what actually ends up happening, though, is it actually does the next thing, which it influences what's called buying habits. Now, regardless of whether or not you have a product or a service, it influences buying habits. Now, no matter what anyone will tell you about what a brand does, a brand takes what the most important part of share of mind is. It's that you're in there. Not only are you in there, but if we look at the fragmented media universe that we have now, local broadcast television, not local cable, not the ESPN channel, which is not a bad channel, I'm just saying, but local broadcast television reigns supreme for branding. Whether you're running in a program like a news or a situation comedy, it really doesn't matter. You want to reach people that live in the Minneapolis, Twin Cities, Eden Prairie area, should be on local TV, because that reaches everywhere. It's very difficult to target businesses, and I'll give you an example, target a consumer that is ready to buy, but it's very easy to actually use the power of branding to create a business scenario where you're going to be first in line. Give you an example. I don't live in Minneapolis. I actually live in Baltimore, Maryland, but let's just say I moved to Minneapolis, right? I have 3 kids. I got 2 dogs, I got like 4 cars. I mean, I got a lot of stuff. Where would I live in Minneapolis? Anyone? Don't say not near me. I don't want to hear that. Where would I live in Minneapolis? Who would give me an area?
Minnetonka.
Minnetonka. I could get a nice house there. All right, so I'm going to buy a nice house, and even though it gets kind of cold in Minneapolis, it's actually beautiful now. What's that about? It's supposed to be 80 degrees tomorrow. Hello. So here I am. I bought a house, but in the middle of the summer, a sweltering summer. And I go downstairs into the basement, I'm checking stuff out, and I notice something is eating the wood in my basement. I got a termite problem. So I yell up to the wife, call Terminex. You've heard of Terminex, right? So then I say, you know what? I'm a good consumer, because I'm a consumer that likes to get estimates. Who in here has a business where a consumer will actually call you for an estimate? Anybody? Like, well, how much it's going to cost to do business with you? No one else? Do I have only one person? Is Nick the only person? What am I doing, an auction? Can I get an auction? All right, hey, you got an auction over there, I got somebody over there. Right, so I told my wife to call Terminex in Orkin, and I don't live in Minneapolis. You know that, right? So I kind of look over to my neighbor, my buddy Bob, and I go, Bob, only Bob, who's the 3rd guy my wife should call? Quick, tell me. Who? Who's the 3rd exterminator? Boy, I don't know. I don't know that one. All right, who's the 3rd exterminator? You might know because you're in that biz, maybe. You don't. Here's the problem for you and you and you and you and you. Not you. You work for me. You. You don't need an exterminator, but you know Terminex and Orkin. And in a good economy, you know what? Consumers don't even go more than 3 deep for estimates. You know what happens in a bad economy? They might go 4 or 5 deep. I stop 100 people in downtown Minneapolis. I'll stop 100 people within 15 miles of your office, and I'll ask them, name me 5 people who do what you do. But I'm not going to name your business. You don't come up, you're done. You're done. Because if you're not on the top of mind awareness, you got a problem. Now remember, we're not talking about me turning you into the iconic brand, but those guys have always been the king of beers. Okay, ever since I was a little boy, I drank Budweiser. Did you hear that? I really did. No, Budweiser is awesome. But I don't need to see an ad for Budweiser to know what they do. They don't sell cars. They don't rent apartments. They're beer. It's all beer. Why do they keep marketing? Because they want to beat Miller. You have competitors to your business, most of you. Most of you. You're a niche. Well, you're a niche-y. Because you're niche-y. What business is you? Are you?
Real estate.
Real estate, like rentals?
Residential real estate.
Residential real estate? Do you want to wrestle with Nick? Are we going to do this later? I think you sound kind of similar. But the point is, what is it that Budweiser is trying to do? They're trying to maintain market share. And let me tell you, they have. And you know who these guys beat all the time? Pepsi. McDonald's destroys Burger King. In fact, McDonald's is #1, Wendy's is #2. When I was growing up, there was this chubby guy on TV. He used to say it was time to make the donuts. Is there a Dunkin' Donuts in this area? You know Dunkin' Donuts? You ever hear of Dunkin' Donuts? Has anybody ever eaten donuts? I got a million of these things. The chubby guy comes on TV, he says it's time to make the donuts. He was talking about Dunkin' Donuts. But now, any marketing from these companies, what is it that Dunkin' Donuts says they sell now? Does anybody know what this is? It's a cup of coffee. They don't even talk about donuts. They talk about the coffee. McDonald's sells coffee. Subway sells breakfast, right? Come on now. $5, foot long. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, my brother. My brother. Not my mom's favorite right here. It's like, what is he doing? Yeah, but you know that song, but you know what they're doing when they talk? You know that Subway sells breakfast now. You know that, right? Did you know that? But you know what they're really doing? Now, you got to listen to me because you're running your marketing. People are very aware that Subway sells $5 footlongs at lunch. But I'd never go to Subway. But people that do, what Subway's trying to do is they're trying to get their $5 on Wednesday for lunch. And what do they want on Friday? What are they trying to get me to do on Friday? So I'm not going to go there every day. They want me to eat breakfast, so they're upselling me. Now, look, I'm not one of your customers. And again, I don't know all of you really well. I got a chance to meet some of you. But do you upsell your customers? Because that's what this is about. Remember about the consistent marketing? They're constantly on. I can't think of a day that goes by that I don't see a Subway commercial. But they're constantly on. But their consistent message now is, everybody's eating the $5 footlongs. Come on in for breakfast. Again, if I'm going to give the wherewithal to you about businesses, look at this business. Everybody knows what this is, right? Geico, it's an insurance company. It actually stands for Government Employees Insurance Company. Did you know that? Been around 75 years. I get it. It's not a Gecko. It's not Aflac. It's Geico, Government Employees Insurance Company. Okay. They're ingenious. I actually pattern most of my marketing off of their genius marketing. And what's genius about it? 75 years ago, all they did was serve the military, Government Employees Insurance Company. That's what it was. That's who the government employees are, by the way. But Warren Buffett, who has a few bucks, went, bought the company, turned it into a business to consumer, right? And started with the most basic, the best marketing I've ever heard. Give us 15 minutes, you'll save 15%. Does everybody not know that? But here's the joke. Nothing in my life, anybody here an insurance agent? Okay, good. There's nothing more boring than insurance. I don't think we get excited about doing insurance. I'm not like, honey, wait until you see what we're doing tonight. We're doing insurance tonight. And not only are we doing it, we're going to do it hard, baby. You know, like, it's not happening. But they've taken this category and they've blossomed it. In fact, I see We Are Farmers, bumping up, bump, 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 State Farm, Progressive, Allstate. I could name 10 insurance companies. Yet, how often do people change their insurance? Every day? Every week? People, are there anybody here that really changes? Because you got a problem if you're changing your insurance. So what are they doing? Well, it sounds like they came to one of my seminars. You know what they're doing? They're constantly in front of you, but they're consistent. They don't no longer just talk about 15%. You know what they talk about? RV insurance, motorcycle insurance, home insurance. Do you not notice that? You might not notice it because you might not have an RV. You might not notice it because you don't have a motorcycle. But let me tell you what you should notice. You should notice the power of what they're doing. These are the kind of things that we can help you with. You know, nobody's bigger than these guys. This is Walmart. And I'll take you back to the Wayback Club again. In 1977, when Jimmy Carter was president, there was a bad recession. There were I don't know if you remember, there was gas rationing, right? Am I that much older than everybody in this room? All right. So during that recession, which only lasted 14 months, mind you, this one keeps going, Walmart pulled all their advertising off. They just did because they're Walmart. So Sam Walton, who's the patriarch who was alive in those days, at the end of that 14 months, Walmart lost a 10 share of their market to an upstart called Target. But that's not the end of the story. Sam Walton was asked the following question. What'd you do? Why did you pull the money off? Now, he could have said it was because the economy was bad. He could have said because consumers aren't spending. But he didn't. He said, and this is a great line for any of you, he said, it was amazing what happened when we stopped inviting people to our stores. Now, regardless of whether or not you have a store, or regardless of whether or not you have a storefront, that's exactly what marketing does. We're open. Come on in. We're open every day. We're open from noon to 9. And they've changed the thing. They say save money, live better. They used to say low prices always. Now it's save money, live better. Do you know what they've done during this economy? They've doubled their efforts. Doubled them, tripled them. You can't get away from them. And guess what? It's working. So ultimately, if I'm talking about brands, I'll give you one last one. I told you I'm actually turning 53 at the end of October. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's the oldest I've ever been. Stop staring at me. So here's what happens. At 43, I walked directly into a motorcycle dealership and I bought a $20,000 motorcycle right off. I just bought it right off the floor. What kind of motorcycle did I buy? Yeah, not only did I buy a Harley Davidson, I bought a black Harley Davidson, 100th anniversary Harley Davidson. I put Vance and Hines pipes on it. I've got a stage 2 kit. I put beach bars, and I might not look like a Harley guy because I have a suit on, but on the weekend, I got the tank top, the fake ponytail, and I've got this tattoo that I stick on these guns. Born to ride. I really do. I have a Harley. I really do. But it's funny because all I did was paint a picture, and I want you to paint a picture in your head. Who's the perfect candidate that you're trying to reach? Yours might be very simplistic. Yours might be a little bit more analytical. You might have exactly who you're looking for, the age, the gender. But what I did was I showed you the power of brands to the top of the pinnacle. Because that brand is so powerful, people tattoo that name on their body. Who tattoos the name of your business on their body? Stop it. Stop it. He's like, I got one. Don't even think. I've got the tattoo of my name right here, just in case you see it on the way back. This is a tough crowd. This is like my best stuff. It really is. All right, so the power of brands is important, but it's critical to build an integrated marketing plan regardless of what you believe your brand is. To start, you all have a marketing problem. My marketing problem is not your marketing problem, but your marketing problem is the same as everybody else in this room. Your marketing isn't as relevant as it can be. It would be great if you could reach someone, really know to reach someone the minute they need you. Like the minute I need to get my hair cut, wouldn't it be great if 6 advertisers just got in front of me, were able to come to me and go, I know you're spending your $20 today, come to me. But that's not how marketing works in the real world. In the real world, you need to get in their head. And the way you get in their head is with branding and television. Your visibility is the most important part of what you need to do. Marketing, I'm going to tell you a secret, it does not create a need. Just because I see a commercial about what you're offering doesn't mean I need what you have. But the right marketing, done the right way, will fill the need. Again, some of you have entertainment-based vehicles, or you are trying to pursue a new niche. But the challenge is I can't create a person who wants to drink beer. What I want to do is reach all those people who do, and I want them to sample yours. That's basically what that is. So if we can make your marketing bulletproof, we will be able to not only take your business to the next level, but challenge your marketing, whether you do business with us or not, and challenge whether or not it's remarkable. You know what's remarkable? I'm remarkable. Thank you. I am. That's my sister back there, ladies and gentlemen. It's my biggest fan. No, meaning I'll say something you remember. I say Geico. You don't use Geico, most of you, but you know it. It's remarkable advertising. It's very clean. It's very basic. And the type of suggestions that I'm going to give you, the kind of ideas I'm going to give you, are going to steal from those big monsters. I don't want something intricate. I want it basic. I want it complete. I want it easy to understand. I want it to reach an unusual amount of people. I want to make sure that not only is your plan integrated, but it does what you need it to do. Now, any of you that might have seen my invitation, because I use it, my salespeople use an invitation to get you, it's very sneaky what I do, and I'm only joking here, being playful. I'm not really sneaky. I like to know what clients really want. So on that screen, if everybody could read it, on that first column, if you could just shout out, what's the most important thing you need your marketing to do for you? I'd appreciate it because I like to hear, but I see 1,000 businesses in a year, calendar year. So I know, in a way, without knowing you, what you're going to say, but I want to hear it from you. Is there something that jumps out at you on that first column? And don't make believe like, oh, it's so obvious. It's not that obvious to me, but it should be obvious to you. What is it that you need your marketing to do? So take a quick look. It's the only slide I'm going to make you read. So what is it that you need your marketing to do for you? Anyone? Something jump out at you? I need to. What's that? Most of them. But what would you, if you had to pick one, like you circle one for me, what's like the most, for you, for your business, right? It's different. Increase market share. Anybody else? You need your phone to ring, but you need your phone to ring today. Do you work with him? Or okay, what business are you with, Todd?
I'm on the other side of real estate, residential.
Residential, okay, very good. Well, second column, what is it? Now, these are all different, and I hear this from hundreds of local businesses. These are all the things I hear. And again, I want to key in on what's important. What do you need? Anything on there? Is anybody looking to?
Control your message.
You know, control your message is important. Last but not least, just the last column. Is anything on there? I apologize. I used to get mad at people that have their phone ringing when I'm doing my presentation. I am so mad at myself right now. Darn you. It's pretty cool though, right? What's up? Anybody know the Rolling Stones? Oh, yeah. It sounds like the beginning of Sympathy for the Devil. Because I'm such a devil. What's that last column?